Hello everyone, Yensid Organist here, and welcome to another episode of OrgelCraft. I hope you guys are having a great day today. Today we are going to be working on the castle courtyard, and as you can see, there's a beacon here, and there's no more floor. I had filled in most of this in a few episodes back, and I decided that I wanted it at the half slab level. Mostly because it's going to be a big open space that's going to be spawnable if we don't. So we're going to do it at the half slab level, and we can still do all of the intricate designs and things like that with the slabs. So let's go ahead and get working on this. Now, I'm going to give you a fair bit of warning. I don't have a ton of time for this episode. I think we can still get everything I want to done, but we're going to be doing a lot on camera. This episode is going to be what the great Wells Knight would call a talkie episode. And I see the sun is going down, so we'll see how much we can accomplish. But if you don't know, there was a little Frozen short cartoon that was released this week, and I've given my thoughts on that on the stream we did last week, but I wanted to talk maybe a little bit about what some of my thoughts for the future of the Frozen franchise. So we're going to just chat, we're going to work on getting this courtyard built up, and we will see what we can do. I think I'm going to go ahead and wait for the sun to go down to get started on this. So to get things started, I want this courtyard to be roughly square. It might end up being a little bit longer just because of how the little design work is going to go. But we're going to start square, and we'll go from there. So what we need to do is figure out what that is going to be. So I've done a little bit of setup here. So the walls basically come directly out from the corner. So this is where this interior wall is going to extend, and I decided to go 2 blocks out from that as kind of the perimeter. It's 4 over here, but that's because of where these little support columns go. So that's what we're going to work with, and this is what we need to count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 37, 38, 39, 40, and then the center is 41. So then if we were to make this square, it would be 81. Okay. So let's go ahead and lay out at least the sides to get things started. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So let's do the other side. And of course I have discovered that, this comes out a little farther beyond, so we're going to have to fill that in. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, that turned out to be a much more difficult proposition than I expected it to be. Not really sure why I wasn't able to count, but we're good now, so we're at 81. I'm not going to fill in this side just yet. I think I'm going to wait and do that. But what I want to do is I want to fill in, let's see. I hate the thought of using this cobblestone, but I think it'll be fine. And the sun is going down again. So let's go ahead. I want to fill in underneath here, and that's going to be an interesting proposition with possibly not being able to see under there. Alright, so we'll just fill into there, and of course I don't have any more blocks, and I'll just grab one when I go over. So let's just do the interior for right now. And I'm going to need to sleep in just a second. Okay, so while we're filling this in, and then we're going to go ahead and get the brick done, at least for the interior, I thought I would do just a little bit, give some of my thoughts on the future of the Frozen franchise, what I hope from it. Not in terms of like storyline that I want to see, but you know what I hope Disney does with everything. So as I said in the opening, this past week we had Disney released a new short in the Frozen franchise called Once Upon a Snowman, and it essentially details what happens to Olaf from the time where Elsa creates him during the Let It Go sequence until the point where he finally catches up with Anna and Kristoff. And it was a cute little short. It was funny. In my opinion, it was completely unnecessary. It really didn't add anything to the story. I think it had some issues. And from a personal standpoint, I'm a little tired of Olaf. I'm going to extend this just a little bit farther because, well, we are going to be building a castle over here. Let's see, should we take it all the way down? Yeah, we'll take it all the way to the end. This platform is going to need to be made much bigger. There we go. Back in April of this year, when all the quarantines and lockdowns were going on, the Disney animators did a whole series of little short, like 2-minute videos that they released on YouTube. It was called Olaf at Home, and they were really nice. I really enjoyed those. They were a lot of fun. They were definitely what we needed during all of the lockdowns. But for me, kind of wore me out on Olaf. I like Olaf, but he's a side character for a reason. And so, that kind of got me thinking about, if they do any more with the Frozen franchise, what would I hope that they do? And I was talking to a friend this morning, and was telling her about, the new short, and she made a comment. It's like, oh, I really hope they don't do Frozen 3. Well, personally, I really hope they do a Frozen 3. So Jennifer Lee, who is the director of Frozen, stated, I don't know if it was in a tweet or an interview, I think it was an interview that she did, that, they would keep going with Frozen as long as they felt like they had a story to tell. She also kind of followed that up with, I think the story's complete, referring to the events of Frozen 2. There has been quite a lot of backlash. Maybe backlash isn't the right word, but a lot of controversy over the ending of Frozen 2. Mild spoiler alert for you. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this should be the wall. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Okay, yes. So spoilers for the end of Frozen 2. Anna and Elsa do not end up in the same place. Anna goes back to Arendelle, and Elsa stays in the Enchanted Forest so that she can take care of that and Ahtohallan, which is the glacier where she has found all the answers to everything that has been going on. And there's been a lot of backlash over that, like, bring Elsa home, the sisters should be together. And I'm actually okay with the ending of Frozen 2. Just because they're not together does not mean they're not still a family. And I think they both have important work to do. I think some of the criticism is coming from the fact that we have no idea what Elsa is doing in the Enchanted Forest, and it seems like, she's just camping all the time and hanging out, with the Northuldra people. And I think there's a lot more to it than that, but in the scope of the movie, we don't really get the answers of what's going on there. And so I can see, where some of that criticism comes in. As I said, personally, I don't have a problem with the ending. I liked it, and I liked where it went. Where I do have a little bit of criticism is the first Frozen movie was really about Anna, and her, basically saving Elsa from herself, and kind of finding her own place. After having a fairly rough childhood where she was, separated from her sister all those years. Frozen 2, then, was really kind of Elsa's story, finding her coming into her own, really accepting and embracing her powers and finding her place in the world. And, she has this feeling that she is, meant for something bigger than just being queen, which I realize sounds kind of weird to say, how much bigger can you get than being queen? But with the powers that she has, she feels like she's called to something more. And I think at the end of the movie, both the princesses, now queens, are where they are supposed to be. I don't know that disappointed is the right word for it, in Frozen 2, is that we really didn't get to see, the sisters working together, to be able to, accomplish something, fight back against something. Do I have enough brick? Probably not. They were together for a large portion of the movie, and to some extent they were working together. But, I think there's a lot more that they could do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Especially with how we... how everything kind of resolved itself at the end of Frozen 2, with them really being the bridge between the magical world, and the, I guess, non-magical world, for lack of a better term. And so I really want to see, I would like to see something, I think for Frozen 3, and I said I'm not really getting into story, but I would like to see something where the two of them have to work together, with their own unique set of skills that they have developed, put it a few years into the future. And so we see how Anna has developed as Queen of Arendelle, and Elsa really coming into her own with her powers. And I think something of them, having to work together to deal with a larger threat, that is facing, Arendelle and North Uldra, or the world in general, whether that's a magical threat, whether it's, a military threat, or something else entirely. I think that there is story to tell still, but obviously, not a Disney animation director, so, I don't really get any say in that matter. But if we go, I would love to see a Frozen 3. I think there's more story to tell. I think they left a lot of questions unanswered at the end of Frozen 2. And I think they could do something there. Now, they could do that potentially in the form of shorts. I know that they have a history of doing that. We have, I guess, 3. I was going to say 2. We have 3 Frozen shorts now. 2 shorts that are, around 5-6 minutes in length, and then they have a longer one that's about 22 minutes. And I think, maybe they could do something, that shows, like, a day in the life of Anna, a day in the life of Elsa. I would love to get backstory on Kristoff if they're going to keep doing short cartoons. We really don't know much about Kristoff other than what we see in the films. And I think it would be cool to see, like, how he and Sven ended up together, and maybe what he does, because it's implied that he's still an ice harvester. I don't think he's just, kind of bumming around the castle all day. So it would be very interesting to see, what's happening with his character. Apart from that, I don't really know. So outside of the, the actual animated realm, there are a number of books. There was a whole, I guess junior novels would be the way to call them, that take place after the events of the first Frozen movie. And oh look, the Wandering Trader has arrived. I don't know whether they're canon or not. There was a young adult novel that came out as a prequel to Frozen 2. I don't know if that's canon either. But enjoyable stories, and I think they could do something with that. There's also a number of comics Oh, I guess he's going invisible, so I'm gonna go sleep. I will be back. I'll see if you have anything to offer. What you got? Nautilus shells. Nautilus shells? No. I don't need any of that. Sorry. Yep, don't need anything. But yeah, so there's a lot, there's a lot more to the Frozen universe than just what we've seen on screen. And like I said, I don't know how much of that is canon or not. But certainly there's a lot for fans of the series. If you're interested in getting more into it than just the films, there's a lot more out there. Another thing that I've seen people talking about is the possibility of an animated series on Disney Channel like they did with Tangled. So just recently, let's see, that goes in there and that goes in there. And then let's go ahead and start. I want to do just a little bit of filling. We're going to use cobblestone as the base. We'll probably supplement that with some other variants, but we're going to at least start with cobblestone. So I want to essentially outline the interior of this, and then we'll work on the design. Yes, so there was a 3-year, or I guess a 3-season Tangled series that kind of dealt with, what happened to Rapunzel and Eugene, after she was, reunited with her family in Corona, and before they got married. Rapunzel and Eugene got married, and it was a really, really good series. Really enjoyed watching it. It was they really did a lot developing the story. They actually went to 2D animation, which was a little weird at first, coming off of a 3D animated movie. Where am I going? I'm going here. That's right. I extended that. But you got over the 2D animation pretty quick, and it was really well done. They had all of the original voice cast from the movie back, and I think that's something I've thought a lot about whether or not I'd like to see an animated Frozen series, and I still don't know where I kind of land on that. On one hand, I think it would be really cool. It would certainly give us, a lot more storyline than you can accomplish in, an hour and a half, an hour 40-minute movie. On the other hand, there are some potential hangups on that. One is, do they have enough story to tell? If I have one critique of the Tangled series, is that occasionally, you had filler episodes. And I'm not a huge fan of filler episodes, and I know that, it's probably geared toward a younger audience, so, you don't always have, the long-running plot lines. So I understand that. I'm just not sure if that's something I would want to see for Frozen. I think it's also really important, if you do a series like that you need to make sure you get as much of the original cast as possible. Anna and Elsa, if not voiced by Kristen Bell and Idina Menzel, are just not going to be the same. And certainly, Jonathan Groff as Kristoff and Josh Gad as Olaf. I don't think we'd have any trouble getting Josh Gad by the amount of Olaf stuff he has done. Since the movies, and he has stated that he really enjoys that character. So I imagine that wouldn't be a problem. But it's a lot of things that, come into consideration if you're thinking about doing a series like that. So I don't know. Again, I think if they think they have a story to tell, go for it. But I don't know. But I hope that the Frozen franchise isn't done. I'm not done with it, for sure. Obviously, you can tell I have enjoyed the movies immensely. I'm patterning a large portion of my Minecraft world around this universe. So, so I hope that we will see more. I would love another feature-length movie. This is probably a topic for another day, but I would love to see a princess crossover movie. It's been established that... Am I out already? Yeesh. It's been established that Frozen and Tangled take place at pretty much the same time, because Rapunzel and Eugene show up for Elsa's coronation. And I know that's a little, Disney thing, where they work other characters into the movies, but other sources have established that, yeah, they do take place in the same time period. So, I think you could do something with that. I'd love to see other characters worked in, and who knows what will happen. We have next year. Oh. Coming out next year is Disney's next animated feature, Raya and the Last Dragon, and I'm really looking forward to that. Maybe there is something with magic and time travel or something that they come up with, that could reunite all the princesses. Not like what we had in Ralph Breaks the Internet. While that was while that was cool to see, I'd like them actually being like real characters as opposed to, characters on the internet. So, yeah, so I think that's, the bulk of my thoughts. Yes, I want to see more, and, hopefully we will, that fell, didn't it? Yes, it did. Okay, that's all right. We'll just do that. Hopefully we will get more in the future. I really think Disney could completely salvage 2020 by announcing Frozen 3 at the end of the year. Yeah. So, anyway, I think that's enough rambling on this subject. Let me get a little bit more done with this, and then we'll start working out a little bit of the interior design. All right, so I've done a little bit of planning here, a little bit of a grid work to work from. So as I have said before, this idea of rose-mulling is extremely prevalent in all of the architecture. It looks like there's a gap there, but there's just a chest that we can't see. And that includes in the design of the courtyard. So that's what we are going to be working with here. And there's a pattern that's kind of repeated on all sides, and then there is the crocus pattern that is that symbol of Arendelle in the center. So what we are going to do is we're going to start from here, and I've got two different blocks that I want to use for this. So let's do, let me take this out, since this will be kind of where we're starting from. And we're going to start like this, and then I think we'll branch out from there, and then we want to bring this down to here. Take that out. And this is actually not where this is going to go, but at least it gives us a reference point, and we're in the shadow of the beacon, so that's what's going on there. So let's do... So essentially what we have is a figure that comes out, and then, let's see, trying to figure out, trying to look at an image off to the side, and then come up with this as well. So it's kind of it's a little bit of a heart shape is what we have here. I'm sure there's a technical term for it, that kind of loops back in on itself. So let's maybe let's do another 2, and then let's go out here. And I guess we have to take in, I did not run those diagonals. How much dirt do I have left? Let's maybe draw out this diagonal so I know where I'm working from. Okay, so we don't want to cross that line, but we do want to get almost out to it. So let's keep going here. And where's the end of that? It's right there. All right, let's maybe do 2. And then let's go maybe like this. And then this would be the top. So that would probably be where we're going to bring this back in. I think we're going to need to smooth that out a little bit. But then this kind of curls back in on itself. So we could do 2, another 2. Now I think the sun is going down. Now the sun is going down. Let's take a look at this in the daylight. Okay, I actually feel like this shape is pretty good. That is a little off right there. And I'm not quite sure how to fix that. I think this is too abrupt. So maybe if we just move the... Oh, I got it. Okay. So if we move it there instead, let's see how that looks. Whoa, that looks better. Yeah, I think that might be okay. And then we have to figure out... So it loops in on itself, and then it kind of expands through there, and then there's a smaller design on the inside. So let's figure out what that little pattern is going to be there. Let's take... I bet I lost those. Yup. That's fine. We'll put dirt in there. It's going to disappear anyway. Okay, so then let's grab our blackstone slabs, and we have... Let's maybe go here, and let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we'll go like... Whoops, not a full block. That, and then let's maybe do 1, 2, and 2 there. I think that would be good. But then to curve this back in, it's gonna go, and I don't really want... they could touch. I think that might be okay. So we could do 2... and maybe another 2. If we bring this in 1, it connects to that. Let's see what that looks like, though. So if we bring that into here... I don't like that. Maybe... Nah, let's leave it where it is for now. So we'll leave it there, and there. And then the problem with this is that it's going to have to turn back in on itself. So let's maybe take that out for a moment, and let's see what the interior looks like. So if we come maybe to there... That might be a little far. Let's back it up 1. And let's mirror what we have on the outside. So 2 diagonals. Let's maybe just keep it 1 there. And let's try 2. It does get narrower as it comes down. We could come to there. That might be okay. Let's see, so then that, and if that comes back, and we're not going to be able to be as detailed as it is, but yeah, I think this is going to be okay. So let's get this filled in, and then we'll take a look at it. Alright, so how does that look? Yeah, I like that. I don't like how far this is from the middle. So let's maybe just do this. And does that look better? Yeah, I think that looks okay. Yeah, I think that looks okay. So let me go ahead and copy that on the other side, and then I'll replicate it in the other 4, and then we have a couple other little designs to work out after that. Welcome back, everyone. So I've got the the first design completed on all 4 sides. I know it's a little hard to see with the beacon in there, but yeah, it's looking good. So the next thing we need to deal with are, there's a little flower pattern that kind of comes out on the diagonals here. So I think we want to take that from, let's go from here. And then I want to keep a little of this line, just so that I know where that center is. But I think we can take the rest of this dirt out. But I want to know what I'm working towards. So let's do that. And then we're going to come out this way, and then it's going to expand, maybe like that. Let's see. Do I maybe want to do that? Maybe, and then maybe in the next row we come out. No, that's not... That might be okay. And then from here we can go out. I guess I could do this one side at a time. Like that. And then maybe... kind of curves out and around, so maybe this is not quite what we want. Let's go... We could go with that, and then we could go 1, 2... How many is this? 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we could do 3, 2, 1. And then maybe from here we could do 2, 3? That might look okay. Yeah, that might be okay. Alright, so that's from here. And we go 4, 3, 2, 1. So let's take this out. And then we'll have to fill it in. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1. And then 1, 2. And I think I did an additional 1, 2, 3. Is that right? Yes. Okay, so then we have to figure out how far up we want that to go, and then split from there. Yeah, there we go. I think this looks good. I think this is symmetrical. No, it is not symmetrical. What did I mess up? This one is... No, this one is not long enough. Should be right there, and then that should do it. I'm running out of dirt scaffolding. I have run out of dirt scaffolding. Okay, I think that's good. And then just need a circle out here. And I hope this has come out far enough. So let's follow that center line. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. And a circle on a diagonal is going to be interesting. Let's see. And it's becoming nighttime. I don't want this to be square. Certainly don't want this to be square. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe that. Let me sleep. So as I look at this, I think I want this to curve a little bit more this way, and the dot to be smaller and farther out. Yeah, so let me play around with that a little bit, and I'll bring you guys back in a minute. So I went ahead and finished the courtyard. I got going on this design and just decided to finish it off. And this is what we have. The Wandering Trader is currently inspecting it. He has nothing good to sell. But yeah, really like the way that it looks. I was a little concerned the cobblestone would be too busy, but I have that variated cobblestone texture in there, and I think that helps to break it up. The other thing is it's really not meant to be viewed from up top. You know, it's something that, you know, you would be seeing from ground level, and I think from ground level it looks really nice. And I think it looks good from up in the air too. So, yeah, now we need a couple of fountains here, and I'm not quite sure what I want to do with them, because I don't know if I want them to be frozen fountains or just normal flowing water fountains. So I'm going to have to think about that, possibly come up with a few designs. They're not very big, and so if I do decide to go with ice, I need to figure out exactly what to do for that. But I think that's going to do it for today. I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. I know it's been a little bit of a different style of episode, but let me know if you enjoyed that, if you'd like to see episodes like that in the future. I'm not going to make it a habit of doing talky episodes. It's just how it happened to work out for this week. So, if you guys did enjoy it, please be sure to give this episode a like and share it with your friends. If you haven't already, I would encourage you to subscribe and make sure you click that little notification bell so you can stay up to date on all my latest posts. Be sure to follow me on social media, and I hope to see you on Wednesday nights for our live stream. This week, we're going to be working on the walls on either side of this. So, I hope to see you 9:30 Eastern. Thanks for watching. See you real soon.